Hello, everybody. Welcome to a new PennyWise podcast from Lee Enterprises. I'm your host, Teri Barr, who many of us are in the depths of winter right now. But when you think about winter and your home, what does that mean? We have a terrific guest joining us today, Ben Moore from NerdWallet, and this is exactly what we're talking about. Maybe something people should think about when we're in the very cold parts of winter, right, Ben? Thanks for joining us.
Definitely. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I know probably the last thing, unfortunately, you think about is your home insurance. You get it and you pay it, and it's all
Mhm.
good. But okay, so what happens when you hit winter and all of a sudden a water pipe breaks? What should we be
Sure.
thinking about, Ben?
Yeah, water pipes bursting in the winter is a very common homeowners insurance claim. And there's a few things homeowners can do to prevent those. First of all, the initial sign that you might have a frozen water pipe is if maybe you go to your kitchen sink in the morning and you try to turn it on and there's no water coming out. That might be a sign that you've got a frozen water pipe. And frozen water pipes are what burst. So something you can do to try to mitigate that is you want to keep your home temperature during the coldest days to a minimum of 55 degrees Fahrenheit. And then also you can insulate the pipes that are in the coldest rooms in your house, such as in the basement or in the garage. You can take pipe sleeves or newspaper, and that can help prevent those pipes from freezing.
Newspaper. I love that idea because all of us, have some kind of newspaper laying around. So that helps, keep the cost down there. What
Exactly.
do you do though when you actually have to call the insurance agent and say, "Oh, I've got some trouble inside my house"?
Sure. So the first thing you want to do is you want to, let's say your water pipe bursts, you
Mhm.
want to turn off your water valve immediately because the insurance company wants to make sure that you're doing everything in your power to make sure that the damage is not as bad as it could be. So make sure you turn that water valve off if a pipe does burst, and then take pictures of any damage and you can send that over to your insurance company. If you do come across a frozen pipe, you can also use a heated pad or a blow dryer and just work that over the frozen area to thaw the ice inside.
Yeah, because not everybody can leave their house, especially if it's certain pipes in a certain area. But I guess, the question people I'm sure have, when they're listening to this is, can you prevent something like this from happening? I mean, I know many parts of the country having bitter cold temperatures right now.
Yeah, I mean, the what I just laid out is really the best way to prevent it, keeping your home temperature at least to 55 degrees in the coldest months. That's going to be the best way to prevent it. If the worst does happen and a pipe does burst, as long as you're doing everything within your power to stop any further damage from happening,
Mm.
your homeowner's insurance policy is going to cover that accidental water damage.
Okay. Oh, that's good news then.
Yeah.
All right, here's a second one to be aware of when it comes to your home and winter. Ice dams on the roof. Now, some people may have not even heard of an ice dam. So, Ben, if you don't mind, let's start there. What is an ice dam?
So an ice dam is exactly what it sounds like. It's literally a dam of ice, and they're created when, let's say, there's a blizzard, a bunch of snow falls on your roof, and then maybe the temperature warms up and the ice or the snow starts to melt, and then the temperature drops again, and it refreezes near the edges of your roof and creates a dam, which can block water from properly draining off your roof, and it can seep under your shingles and cause mold and water leakage. So an ice dam is honestly quite a mess and a very
Yeah.
common, very common homeowners insurance claim in the winter. But honestly, the best way, I know that you might think, oh, I want to make sure that ice can't form on my roof, so let's keep it warm. Honestly, the best way to prevent it is actually to keep your roof cold throughout the winter. And you're going to want to do that by insulating your attic so that no heat is escaping up from your living areas into
Mm,
the attic, which can warm the roof.
that absolutely makes sense. And what about there's always people, and I hate to say you always hear these stories, but people wanting to get up there and take care of it themselves. Should they do that?
No.
Right.
Don't do that. Don't climb up on your roof. Obviously, it's dangerous to get up on an icy roof. But if you're chipping away at ice on your roof with a shovel or something else, you're actually going to damage your roof, which is going to just cause more of a mess.
Hmm.
So have a professional inspect your roof if you're worried about ice dams forming. A professional can let you know if something like heated cables along the edge of your roof will make sense. They can melt or thaw an ice dam. Maybe you might want to replace your roof with rubberized shingles, which can prevent water from seeping underneath them.
Wow.
The only thing I recommend really, if you are going to climb up there to inspect anything, is you want to make sure that you're looking at your gutters and keeping the gutters clear of any debris. That will let water at least drain the proper way off of your roof.
Yeah, and you often hear about how many leaves and things get stuck in there, and I don't think people discover it until spring, and then they wonder what happened over the winter.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, some good information there. Let's go on to number 3, and, this one, yeah. I've seen this happen in way too many places where we've lived, where the tree branches might get heavy or the wind blows the branches, but the tree branches get heavy in the cases I've seen due to some ice. What do you do here? This one is kinda scary for me.
Yeah, another very common claim in the wintertime.
Ah,
Really the best way to avoid an icy tree branch falling on your home or on your fence or on your garage is you want to just regularly trim any tree branches that might be reaching over the structures on your property, because that's going to obviously keep, if a branch does fall, it's going to fall on the
yeah.
ground instead of on your home. But if that does happen, your homeowner's insurance policy is going to cover any damage from a fallen tree branch.
Okay, but they're gonna wanna make sure that you were sort of trying to maintain there as well?
Exactly. They're going to
Yeah.
want to make sure that you're doing your due diligence to kind of prevent anything from happening. So
Mhm.
they'll take a look to see if how far that branch was extending over the house before it fell. There,
Okay.
if it's, if you're not regularly trimming your trees, it's possible that your claim might be denied.
Ooh, okay. So some more good advice there. Thank you, Ben. And number 4, just another thing for you to consider winter, dealing with your home, having a fire at your home. And I imagine this happens too often in the winter as well.
Yes, it does. And it's for a variety of reasons. You've got people that are gathering more inside. Maybe you're cooking for large family gatherings because of the holidays or something else. Maybe you're using your fireplace for the first time in the winter. Maybe your electricity goes out or you're using a space heater. There's a variety of reasons or that can cause a house fire.
Yeah.
So basically, what you want to do is you just want to make smart decisions when you're doing something different in your home in the wintertime. So if you're going to go light your fireplace for the first time, make sure that it's been checked by a professional chimney sweep before you light it.
Of
Uh,
course.
if you lose electricity, make sure you're using flashlights instead of candles. A space heater, that's a really big cause of house fires. If
Mhm.
you do use a space heater, make sure it's at least 3 feet away from anything flammable, like your bed or curtains. And if you're gonna go to sleep or leave the room, you do want to turn off that space heater because you want to keep eyes on it as often as possible.
Absolutely. Okay. What do you think when we look at these things? We've talked about the water pipes freezing, ice dams on the roof, tree branches falling, fire at your home. What's the bottom line when it comes to having to deal with all of these things, especially in the winter?
The bottom line is that homeowners need to know what their policy covers and doesn't cover. And the best way that you can do this is just to have a strong relationship with your insurance company or insurance agent and just ask them as specific questions as you can think of. Like make sure if you don't know if something's covered, ask your insurance company. They're going to be the ones that are going to tell you what is and isn't covered. If you want to do a little bit of your own due diligence, you can check the declarations page of your
Yeah.
policy. That's going to
Yes.
outline what is and isn't covered, as well as the exclusion section. But honestly, the best advice I can give you is just to ask your insurance company, is this covered? What do I need to do to get this covered? They can help you out.
Well, you've given us 4 perfect topics to kind of start that conversation with your insurance agent. So that's great. One thing we hear a lot about too, and I don't know how many people do it, home inventories. How much can that help when you need to talk to your agent about something?
A home inventory is a great asset because if there is damage to any part of your home or your personal property, it's something you can quickly pull up and say, hey, I had this couch or I had this wall here. You know what I mean? So it sounds a little overwhelming, like, oh, I need an inventory of everything I own. It actually can be really simple. If you can just take your phone, start a video, and walk through every room in your house, narrate what's in your home, go on the outside of your house and take video as well. And that video is really going to be a great tool for you if you ever do need to file a claim.
That's awesome. Ben Moore with NerdWallet. Ben, thank you so much. Again, really timely things as we really are diving into the cold parts of winter right now. Thanks so much for doing this with us today.
Yes, of course. Thanks, Terry.
Oh, yeah. And again, Ben Moore with NerdWallet. And you can find new PennyWise podcasts wherever you enjoy listening to your podcasts. Free to listen to, follow along, and never miss an episode. Thanks so much for being here. And we'll see you again next week. Bye, everybody.